Do you want to improve the way you walk and your confidence? Well, here's 5 easy tips to help you walk better and with more confidence. There's many reasons you may want to reconsider the way you walk. It could be back pain. Perhaps you feel a little bit odd when you walk, or people have even made comments that make you feel less confident. Maybe you keep getting plantar fasciitis and your podiatrist is blaming it on your duck feet walking style. It's understandable if you're a little puzzled by some of the contradictory information that you hear on different YouTube channels about how to walk properly. Lean forward when you walk, walk forefoot first instead of heel first. If these things sound odd to you, good. They sound odd because they're not true. What they are offers of a quick fix for your walking problems that don't require a lot of thought or practice. That can make them attractive explanations even if they fly in the face of everything you know in your heart about proper posture and the way people should walk. Don't fall for it. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 easy tips that you can use to help your walk that you can rely on. But I'm also going to tell you the truth. The first truth is that explaining how to walk is hard. Walking is a complex and biomechanical activity. The second truth is that trying to change the way you walk is going to take some time and patience and some serious study. The 5 easy tips I'm going to give you today are easy if you're already doing them. But if you're not, it's going to take some time and some additional learning to really change the way you walk effectively. If you get value from this video, then click the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you plan on working on your walking technique because you've come to the right place. And make sure to stick around to tip number 5 because that could be the most important one of all.
Tip number 1, vertical posture. I wanted to start off with vertical posture since it seems like such a logical idea that we instinctually know, but I just showed you a clip from the second most viewed video on walking technique and it's telling you the exact opposite, to lean forward. Walking forward requires a specific pattern of rotation of your core muscles. If you're having difficulty walking forward without leaning, it means you're using the incorrect pattern of core rotation.
I'm not going to explain the rotation here because I'm trying to rein in my tendency towards over-explanation, but for those of you who are interested, I'm going to place a video link in the description section.
Instead, I'm going to tell you the story about when I first learned to skate backwards. I couldn't figure out how to get going because I thought it would be the same as going forward, just reverse. I would lean back a little bit and push off. If you know how to skate backward, you'll know that that didn't work. You'll also know that leaning forward doesn't get you to go forward. Moving forward or backward, whether skating or walking, is determined by the pattern we use to rotate the core. We figure these patterns out through trial and error when we're infants learning to walk and then never think about them again. Not until we're faced with a new movement challenge, like skating backwards. Tip number 2, arm swing. Just like moving forward or backward, our arm swing is determined by how we use our core. If we're moving correctly, the left arm will swing straight forward with the right leg and the right arm straight forward with the left. Variation in the pattern of core rotation will result in variations of the arm swing, like swinging behind the body, or swinging in front of the body.
These variations in arm swing may seem harmless, but they're a visual representation of the misalignment of the joints that's going on when you walk that way.
Tip number 3, feet face forward. The feet should face forward in the direction of travel, although a slight outward angle is common. This keeps all the joints properly aligned. One of the most common walking problems out there is out-toeing, more commonly known as duck feet. Significant duck feet can increase the stress on the inside of the ankle and cause collapse of the ankle and the arch of the foot. The mechanics of why people walk with duck feet are complicated, but there are a couple things I can point out that may help you. First, almost every person I see walking outside the house in flip-flops walks with duck feet. It's impossible to walk with your feet facing forward in flip-flops, so people in flip-flops naturally fall into a pattern of duck feet walking without even realizing it. If you haven't noticed this yourself, start to pay attention when you see people outdoors walking in flip-flops. Leave me a comment and let me know if you also notice that everyone in flip-flops is duck-footed.
If you tend to walk outdoors in flip-flops, also leave me a comment and let me know, are you duck-footed? Bottom line, save your flip-flops for short trips from your bed to the bathroom and do not consider them everyday footwear. The second commonality with all people who are walking with duck feet is that they're powering the swing through phase of the step with the swing leg, not the standing leg. This means that the standing leg is not going to extend behind the body during the swing through phase of the step. Instead, the swing leg is going to be thrown forward. This is only possible when you walk with your feet turned out at an angle. I'll link a video in the description section where I go into this in detail. Tip number 4, gentle heel placement. Proper walking technique uses a gentle placement of the heel, also called heel strike, followed by a roll into the flat foot position. This is not only the universally understood way of proper walking that you will see in any medical text or taught in any physical therapy school, it is also the way virtually every healthy human being walks in modern times and throughout history. I emphasize this point because if you get all of your information from YouTube, you may be led to believe that heel strike is a controversial subject. It's not. The problem is many people heel strike incorrectly, using too much force as they impact the ground. This can lead to early wear and tear in the knees, as well as back, hip, ankle, and foot problems. People who are striking their heel too hard are making one of a few different mistakes. First, they may be leaning forward and pushing off with their glutes, causing them to push directly into the heel with too much force. Second, people may be having the problem of anterior pelvic tilt, where the pelvis tilts forward. This essentially creates the same forward lean that I just mentioned, but with a hyperextended upper back, which gives the illusion of vertical posture. Both of these problems with walking are going to result in crashing into the heel. There are easy ways to tell if you're walking with a heavy heel strike. First, you're going to hear it. If you're walking on a hard surface and you can really hear a loud crash every time your foot hits the ground, then you're walking with too heavy of a heel strike. Second, if you take your shoes off and walk on a hard surface and it hurts when you impact the ground on your heel, then you're walking incorrectly. The third way to determine if you're walking with too heavy of a heel strike is watching the arc of the swing leg as it travels forward. If you're walking properly, it should clear the ground and the arc of the swing leg should end in the air, followed by a controlled placement of the heel. For people who are leaning forward or have an anterior pelvic tilt, the heel is going to move directly into the ground, as you'll see here, without having that arc complete its path in the air.
For those of you who are buying into the idea that the fix for everyone's walking problems are to change to forefoot walking, under the premise that heel strike is a construct only made possible by modern shoe companies, I'll link my debate with Mark Hendricks from Grown and Healthy in the description section. He states that a controlled roll to the forefoot is a fallacy, and that heel striking always results in a hard and uncontrolled slap as the forefoot crashes down. You can see from the slow motion clip here that this is not the case. As for Bob and Brad even states in 2 of their videos advocating forefoot or midfoot walking that he has not adopted either of these and finds them difficult. This begs the question, why is one of the 2 most famous physical therapists on the internet peddling an idea that he doesn't even practice? You can clearly tell from their videos that they are trying to apply the concept of forefoot running to walking. This is faulty thinking, because running and walking are completely different mechanically. You would be hard-pressed to find any person walking down the street forefoot first, or for that matter, Olympic race walking forefoot first. You will see most elite sprinters landing forefoot or midfoot first. They always have.
Tip number 5, is it worth it? I said that tip number 5 is going to be possibly the most important tip of all, and it is. It's because you really have to decide whether it's worth trying to change your walking technique or not. Because changing your walking technique does take time and effort. If you're not having any problem with the way you walk currently, like having pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back, or you're not feeling uncomfortable with the way you walk, then it may not be worth going through the time and effort to try to change your walking technique. However, if you are having unexplained pain in any of the areas that I just mentioned, or you feel uncomfortable or lacking confidence in the way you walk, then changing your walking style and putting the effort into it may just be one of the best things that you can do for yourself. But think of it like learning a dance.
Quick, quick, straw. Quick, quick, straw. Quick, quick, straw. Quick, quick, straw.
Changing the way you move takes a little time and effort, but it can be done, and I think you'll find it well worth it. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm going to link some videos that'll help you get started in the description section and right here so you can click on it and start your journey. Have a great day.